We've been getting a lot of questions lately about our recent MCP launches. So today, I'm gonna walk you through the whole thing, from install to authenticate to a full round-trip workflow, code to Canvas and back again, from one designer to another. Let's go. So for this demo, I'm going to be working off an existing app called Museum of Speculative Futures. If you're planning on working off an existing application, you're also going to need access to that code base. If you're just prototyping or building something from scratch, you can get started in a brand new directory. Our MCP server works with whatever your setup is. All right, let's do this. So I'm in the Cursor desktop app now, and I'm going to install Figma's MCP server. The exact installation command you need to use will depend on what platform you're using, but since I'm in Cursor, I'll type /add-plugin, and this little pop-up will appear in the dropdown, and send. Now it's going through the installation process. The next step is authentication. It's going to open up a browser tab and ask me to agree and allow access. This is the authentication step. Perfect. Now we're authenticated and ready to go. A couple of things to know about this step because this is where a lot of people get stuck. 1, if your agent asks you for a personal access token, stop. That means that the MCP is not properly installed, or you've installed a third-party MCP server not built by Figma. You shouldn't need to manually create a token. Our OAuth flow should handle everything. If you see that, go back and reinstall. 2, if you installed but skipped the authentication step, the agent may fail silently or try to reinstall without prompting you to authenticate. These tools are imperfect, so make sure you not only install, but also authenticate. Do not skip this. And 3, once you're authenticated, the MCP follows your Figma permissions. If you can edit a file in Figma, your agent can too. If you have view-only access, the agent can read, but not write. Now I'm gonna quickly verify that we're connected. I'll ask the agent to read one of my Figma files, and I'll paste a link to that Figma file here in the chat. And there it is, the design context coming back from my file. This tells me that the agent can see my layers, components, my variables, and everything in between. We're in. So now, let's actually use it. So I've just set up the MCP server in Cursor, and it's connected to my organization's real code base. The agent can see the file structure, the components, the styles, everything. I'm going to prompt, using the Figma use skill and our existing design system in our code base in Figma library, generate a new iteration of our information screen that brings ticket price and type to the top of the page in the booking flow. I'm also going to include the link to the Figma file I want it to write to. So my agent wrote to my Figma canvas, and now I can see the two designs side by side with my original version on the left and the agent output here on the right. And it did a pretty good job. It did what I asked it to, which was create a ticket type dropdown. I wasn't actually as prescriptive as that, but it's pretty cool that it did it. And it even created a component out of this, which I did ask it to. It has 2 different states, opened and closed, which is great. This is a really great starting point, but now I'm gonna do what designers do best on the canvas, which is collaborating with my teammates and divergently iterating until it feels just right. So just looking at this now, the agent was able to address the main pain point of this design, but I see some other areas of improvement here actually. For example, this FAQ section, I actually think we can bring hours, location, and contact information into this FAQ. So let's do that actually. This is looking pretty good up here, but I'm noticing that if we have a family or a big group that's wanting to purchase different ticket types, this is actually impossible with this design, which isn't great. So In order to add an extra button or form field here, I'm actually going to detach and add another button right here to add more ticket types. That way someone can buy a general admission ticket or a kids ticket all in one flow. And this is just looking like a lot of stacked buttons, which I don't love. So I'm actually going to put ticket type and quantity side by side here so it's even clearer and cleaner. Maybe we'll put the add more above this divider line just to keep it nice and separate. So I'm feeling a lot better about this design. For comparison, here was our control, here is what the agent gave us, which got us pretty close, and here are my contributions. I'm now gonna send this to my team and wait for their feedback and review to see if this is good to take to production. All right, so I see that my teammates left some comments here in Figma. There are still a few pieces of UI that I need to refine and just think through. So I'm going to do that now. Create a V2 of my iterations and do just that. All right, so I'm done with my iterations in Figma. This design is ready to be reviewed by an engineer for implementation, and I'm actually gonna open a PR to do that. So now I'm gonna prompt the agent something like, update the information screen in my code base to match the design changes I made in Figma. And again, I'm going to include a link to that frame that I just iterated on. So we see here that the MCP once again is reading my designs, including all the changes I made in Figma, for it to be able to update the code base to match. Cool, so now Cursor has implemented those changes into the code base, but it still only exists in my local environment. So this is the part that I'm actually most excited about, which is opening up a PR. A PR, or pull request, is like sharing a draft of a design with your engineers for feedback before those changes get merged into the live product. It's basically your developer's equivalent of bringing design changes to Crit for final approval. So we're creating a branch, committing the changes, and opening a pull request. I'll need to click this link in Cursor to open up GitHub, and there it is. A pull request authored by me, ready for my engineer to review. This means your engineer will review the changes you've made and be able to reference and build on top of it, with the handoff happening almost entirely in code. Let's look at the PR description. It summarizes what design changes I made and the implementation details that we need. And from here, my engineer can review, leave comments, request changes, basically the normal code review process. So, to recap everything we did, we installed the Figma MCP server, we took code from a real code base and generated designs onto our Figma canvas, we iterated in Figma, collaborating with our teammates and getting feedback, and to close the loop, we opened a PR for our engineers to push these changes back to code. All of this is available right now using our MCP server and skills. So, if you only take away 3 things from this video, here they are. 1, make sure that you have the plugin installed even if you've previously installed it. 2, when you ask your agent to generate designs onto Figma, make sure it's using the Use Figma tool and the Figma Use skill so that it connects to the relevant components and variables in your design system. And 3, connect to some version of your organization's code base, either a playground file or production, so that you can collaborate with your developer and design and code. Comment on anything else you want to see, and looking forward to catching you in the next one.